Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and I'm back with another of the two color patterns I've been playing with. This one is pattern 98600, and in case you're curious about the Kumi is 4118. All right, this one I kind of went a little bit too close with the colors again. I just thought they just looked like they were really going to mend well together because it seemed like there was so much of the really light color. But when it gets dark, it's an awful lot like the solid color in it. In fact, it was almost difficult just to set the bracelet up from the beginning. But that aside, the pattern itself was actually really fun to make. The only downside I would say to it was the flipping it in the middle. I had to keep track of like how many of the segments there were before we get to the middle, and then how many after the middle. And yeah, it caused me to have to like kind of stop and count many times. So overall, it did use the variegated string more than the solids. That's because they're almost constantly doing something as far as the pattern goes. So those ones were a bit shorter, not terribly short, but shorter. Don't skimp on those. Even, you know, it's not because it's variegated, it's just because that's where they were in the pattern. But the pattern is pretty cool. It kind of looks a little bit like a dragon scale kind of thing. And I love it. I really do. I love it. And like I said, it was really kind of easy because the way that I was segmenting it, and you might like kind of take note of like how it worked. Each time it kind of showed me where the next one goes to. So when the ones came in from the outside, you bring in two, and then the variegated that was coming out ends on that last one. And then the ones coming in it just works out really well to like not make a mistake on the pattern itself. Again, other than the potential of surpassing the middle, and that was a thing. Also, I kind of got really scared at the middle to make sure that it was gonna come back the other way like it was supposed to, so that was a little bit concerning. So all in all, it did take just over an hour, about an hour and 6 minutes. But that's still not bad for a 12 string. I mean, it was a little bit challenging. I have to admit I was a bit distracted as well. I was busy watching some anime, but it wasn't bad. It's not a bad pattern. I just wish that, like, if I count out how many segments, and then I'm like, okay, so I still need more, I wish I didn't have to count it out again to see where I am the next time around. It's just a thing about the ADHD, I think, that just makes it so I just completely lose the number. And yeah, and even if I thought I had the number, I would still have to double check because I wouldn't find myself reliable enough to have remembered it. Again, I think it's ADHD. It could be anything. Who knows? Maybe there's brain damage after all. I don't know. But yeah, you'll probably see it in the video periodically. Me just going along it and seeing how far along it is. It's okay though. It didn't really hurt anything. I definitely think this would have been cooler with more contrast, but that said, it's an interesting bracelet. I'm sure somebody's going to love it. I wonder. Yeah, I was just gonna say maybe that it would look different underneath a different kind of lighting and stuff, but still, it doesn't matter. It's still very fun. Yeah, I should definitely avoid having the colors being too close together. I've done this a few times now. I don't know. I don't know why I thought this was going to be so different. It just looked like it would be really cool. So, oh, this is the one where there's only 2 on either side of the variegated. The rest of the solids were I had used like 3 skeins of the one, and then I had left over of the variegated. So that was a little bit different than most of these other ones we've been working with. So yeah, kind of is what it is. I think what else I could tell you about it. Yep, there was the counting. Yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, I did enjoy it. I thought it was a fun pattern to do. I hope I'm inspiring you guys to give it a try. It's really quite simple. Oh, I can say something about the fact that, like, when I look at the patterns that I create, I can see the overall bigger picture of how the pattern is working, what's going on with the pattern, right? When I look at, and this isn't just friendshipbracelets.net. If I look at friendshipbracelets.net or bracelet book patterns, like where they actually show you like the directions and stuff, I can't see the overall pattern as well. They're like so far, the knots are so far spread apart that you lose sight of what you're working on. It's not as easy, for me at least, to be able to pick out what's going on. And as a result, it makes it harder for me to see how to potentially segment knot something. I don't know if that's true for everybody, but like, honestly, go to my website, take a look at this pattern, and then compare that with what I took inspiration from, and tell me which way is easier for you. Because I honestly believe that the way that I made my patterns, my templates, are a whole lot easier to work with when you're trying to do the pattern. You're coming to a point that you know is more difficult, like the center that happened, being able to see all the strings and the colors and everything so clearly. I just sincerely think it's a lot easier. So I'm curious what you guys think. I mean, if you're this far in the video, you're kind of paying attention to what I'm saying. You're gonna try things or whatever, right? You're gonna make this. Sincerely, I hope that I'm making it easier for you. So we are beyond the halfway point. I need to thank my YouTube members for making this possible. Without you guys' help, I wouldn't have all the string, I wouldn't have the lighting and all the other stuff that makes this stuff happen. So thank you guys very much for that. And thanks for having faith in me and wanting to see the channel grow, because yeah, it really does mean a lot to me. And I kind of get excited about the prospects of some of the stuff we're gonna do. There's still a bunch of variegated videos I'd like to do. I'm contemplating making it a playlist, just in case there's people out there who are thinking about playing with variegated floss and they want to be inspired. So that could be a thing. But I want to get a few more in before I create playlists. So that's a thing. Plus, I'm trying to use up what is left of the variegated floss. It was a sampler pack, and there's only like two skeins of each of these colors. So my goal is to go through them all and use them up and come up with interesting stories along the way. Like this story was me trying a pattern and it just kind of running with it. It really changes from the top side, where it's like sort of the top part sort of points upwards and the bottom side sort of points downwards. That's I don't know how else to describe the pattern, but that's sort of the way it feels. Working it out to go the different direction definitely different. Definitely, I can't say that one was necessarily easier than the other, but they both took a little getting used to before I was like, oh, okay, of course it's this way. So yeah, the pattern was indeed fun. Changing it up definitely added to that. Yeah, and I like sharing the stories with you guys. I like coming up with new challenges and stuff. So, yep. Yeah, I my brain is like shutting off for the day. It took a certain level of concentration to push through all this, and then to now create the video after, and like kinda dumbfounded. But oh, so after the middle, I got really worried about making the number of segments coming downwards, because I was afraid I would lose track of where the center was. So that's why you'll see I'm like working really, really far from the clip. Was seeing where the center was kind of helped me to like, okay, that's the middle. It goes, we're 6 times past that. So yeah, you kind of see, and you'll see like, yep, almost every single time I'm done, I have to count it again. It's so bad. I don't know. Yeah, and this is one of those occasions where, like, I had to really look at the pattern for the center, but, like, other than that, I kind of zoomed out on the whole thing, on the pattern on my computer. I kind of zoomed out just so that way I could see the bigger picture of the whole of it overall. And I normally don't do that. I normally concentrate on the area that I'm working on, but this pattern just really just went so easy. I wouldn't say it's that much of a beginner's pattern though. You do have left-right knots and right-left knots, so that makes it a little bit more challenging. But as far as intermediate goes, it's a pretty easy intermediate. It is kind of fun, honestly. So yeah, I just hope I'm inspiring you guys to give it a try. I think we're actually getting near the end here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I've got the strings off to the side because it's nearing the end. All right, so big reveal coming up. Thank you for hanging out with me. I do really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the like button. And here comes the big reveal. So hopefully you had fun. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.